Hi YouTube. Today we're going to look at pure evil again. We're going to look at an AR-15 rifle. We're going to be stepping into the dark side, literally, because this is pretty dark color on this rifle. What we have here, we have a Springfield Saint AR-15 chambered in 5.56. And before we go any further with this, I'm going to show all the people that worry about their safety that there is no evil 5.56 ammunition in this rifle. You're safe to watch it and proceed. And all the videos I've ever made, I've never had an accidental discharge, and no magical bullets have come through the camera and hurt anybody ever. So we will proceed and show you this rifle. So what we have here, we have a Springfield Saint. If you'll see some of the markings on it, it says Springfield Armory, Springfield Saint. Has some of your safe fire marks right here. If you look at the other side here, it'll say Springfield Armory on the receiver. I don't know if I can get it to show up or not. Multi-caliber, and just, it just has all the stuff about Springfield Armory. Pretty basic rifle here. But what I like about this rifle is the bang for the buck. And that's what I like about everything. This thing comes with Bravo Company furniture on it from the factory. I haven't done anything to this thing. Well, I mean, I've done a couple things to it, but I'll go over that here in a second. But it comes with a Bravo Company handguard that has M-lock rails on it here. It has a Bravo Company pistol grip on it. It has a Bravo Company stock on it. And it has a Bravo Company trigger guard on it. So we'll see some close-ups of all this stuff. This is all factory stuff. Here's the pistol grip that comes on it. Here's the stock that comes on it. And there's the enlarged trigger guard. So all that comes from the factory. That's one of the first things people do when they modify an AR-15 anyway. They make it theirs by putting whatever hand guards, whatever pistol grips and stocks and stuff on them. Well, this one seems to already be done. And I usually like to refer factory-made rifles over the homemade ones. I'm not saying that homemade rifles are bad. And yes, I have done a couple of them in my time over the years, but I like to I prefer ones that are actually built from the factory. It's just easier. You just buy it, it's already done. You know it's done right. There's a warranty on it. If anything ever goes wrong, it's just easier. And you really don't save hardly anything by putting these things together these days. I mean, the parts to build one is the same cost as if you just buy a good quality rifle already done. And this is a reputable brand, Springfield is, so it's one brand that I trust, so why not? Let's just roll with that. So this rifle came from the factory with a flat top receiver. It did have a flip up sight on it when I got it. I took it off. I probably put it on another rifle or something like that. This is not my main means of home defense or anything like that, so really don't need a backup sight on it. It's got your standard sight post on the front of it. If you look real close here, this is a Springfield Armory barrel. It says 5.56 NATO. It's a 1 in 8 twist. It's got your regular birdcage flash hider on it. It comes from the factory with P-mags in it. Magpul P-mags. Those things are pretty reliable. If you look up close here at the bolt carrier group, it actually has the Springfield emblem on it. So what I've chose to use as an optic on this thing is I'm a big fan of 6 hour optics. The reason I like 6 hour optics a lot is they're really budget friendly for what you get. So this one is a this is a 6 hour Romeo 7S. And let me show you the other side. It'll just say 6 hour on the side of it. It's kind of hard to get that to show up on the camera, but it just says 6 hour on the side of the optic. And this is just a basic red dot, and it has these little lens covers that just flip up so you don't lose them or anything. But one of the main things I like about 6 hour optics is their battery life and the fact that they have the MOTEC system in it. The MOTEC system is you can leave this thing on for 5 years. You just leave the switch on and the thing will actually go to sleep, kind of like a computer. The minute you pick this rifle up, it'll turn that thing on and your rifle is ready for whatever you need it for. And I can't ask for a better feature than that. The 6 AR Motec system. Now, everything about it, these receivers, the upper and lower receiver is very well machined. There's no sharp edges or anything on them. If you remove the magazine, you can look inside here and see it's kind of flared on it. So you can do mag changes pretty quick with this thing. Now, one of the biggest features that drew me to this rifle, besides all the stuff that you get with it, is I'm gonna break this down here. I'm just gonna lift the upper up here and show you. If you look on the inside here real close, you'll see like a little green tab right here on above my finger. And what that is an adjuster. And you can tighten that up or loosen it to get a tight fit between the upper and lower receiver. And that's very important with accuracy with the rifle. A lot of these homemade rifles, they mismatch receivers and stuff like that on them. That's why they're not very accurate. And this one is going to be accurate because it's a very tight fit between, and it's got a good barrel on it. If you look at the upper here, it's just standardized stuff. You know, it's got a full auto bolt carrier group in it. Now, the only real modification I made to this is I did put a drop-in trigger group in it. And the main reason it is because factory GI triggers suck. They're terrible feeling. They feel like sandpaper. Now this one came in a little bit better than a GI trigger. It was like a nickel boron coated one. It was probably one of the better ones I've ever felt, but it still wasn't what I was looking for in a rifle trigger. So I elected to go with a drop-in trigger, and I'm a big fan of flat bow triggers on rifles, and this one is a single stage, about a 3.5 pound pull. And the reason I go with that is because that's what works for me. I'm a big handgun shooter, and I shoot some high-end 1911s, and they all have about a 3.5 pound trigger, and of course they're single stage. So why not do the same thing with the rifle? You do what you're comfortable with, and I'm comfortable with a single stage, about a 3.5 pound pull, and I am good to go. So I will demonstrate here on camera a little bit of the trigger pull here. If you'll look real close here, just barely apply the pressure and it goes. And then I'll show you the reset on it. That's your reset, very tactile, just like that. But I just wanted to give y'all the opportunity to look at this Springfield Saint. I'll give you a couple close-ups of it. This is a very good rifle for the money that you spend on them. I just don't see there being a better buy in like a mid-tier rifle. These aren't super expensive. These aren't like a Daniel Defense or Wilson Combat or anything like that, but they're a little bit more pricey than like a Palmetto State or like the Smith & Wesson Sport model or something like that, or the Ruger 5.56. Those are what I would call an entry-level rifle. I think this is more of a mid-tier rifle. They have these in several different models. They have them with like a full-length handguard on them without the sight post on them and stuff like that. And they have AR pistols of the Springfield Saint, and there's just a bunch of them. And going down the whole AR-15 rabbit hole of doing modifications, that's not really my thing. I just don't know enough about them to sit there and tell you about all that stuff. But I'm a conventional guy. I love this rifle. I think it's a very high quality rifle for the price point that it is, and I would recommend it to anybody. This rifle shoots straight as an arrow with just a red dot on it. I can do anything that the average person can do with an AR-15 rifle. I don't think of an AR-15 rifle as a super long range gun. You know, you can shoot 200 yards without a problem with that optic on it. I'm sure there's people that put bipods on them and they'll stretch them out to 500 yards with a high power scope on them. That's not me, because that's not what an AR-15 was designed for me. I think of it more as a short distance battle rifle. And when I say short distance, you know, 100, 150 yards battling somebody, I think that's a usable area for an AR-15. But I enjoy AR-15s. I enjoy them a lot. I'm not an expert on them by far, but that's my little take on this little Springfield Saint here. And maybe I'll do a video comparing a more modern, standard looking AR to like an older one, and we'll see what the differences are and what technology has brought us. But if anybody has any questions on this rifle, feel free to ask. I'll do my best to answer anything at any time that anybody has. If I don't know the answer, I'll surely find it for you. And thank you very much, folks, for watching my video, and you folks have a great day.